I think back to my childhood a lot. Being a kid seems like it was yesterday. Always on the move, going outside, watching Saturday morning cartoons, and most important to me, playing video games. It didn't matter what game it was. It could have been Cruis'n USA on the N64, running through countless races and always trying to get my tiny hands adjusted to the big N64 controller. To the time I got my very own DS and delved into the Pokemon games like Diamond and Pearl, Black and White, and many more. To the long trips I had as a kid with my cousin where all we would do when we were traveling was talk about which Wii or Xbox 360 game we would 100% when we got back home. I think these memories, while not entirely relatable, probably could stir up some thoughts in the old noggin. Regardless, those memories were that reason, and while I still love playing new releases, there have been days where I just want to close my room door, turn off the lights, and play a game from my childhood or even a recent game I've already beaten, front to back. I have stories from those times, but the thing I want to say most is, there's a simple joy to replaying games. There are a lot of reasons to boot up a game over and over. Nostalgia, improvement, maybe you just really enjoy being in the game world and every bit of the atmosphere soaking it in like a sponge. Hell, there have been many times I've played a single game over and over, going for platinum trophies, collecting every item in the game, and squeezing every little ounce of content out of these titles that they had to offer, and maybe learning a thing or two about some sort of crazy tech that I had zero idea about beforehand. But before I get too carried away, why not discuss the vital reason most replay games? Back before I knew what speedrunning even was, I would make new saves on games constantly and try to beat them within a set time frame. And if I didn't, I would either give up and move on to the next game, or replay it over and over to get a better time. Nowadays, this is just an average day in the office for speedrunners, but to 11-year-old me who was trying to zip past every galaxy in Mario Galaxy or unlock all the characters in Mario Kart DS over and over was nothing short of magic. Going for the fastest times in games is something I subconsciously do. It was shown so much more when I was actually starting to play Resident Evil 2 Remake recently. Bear in mind, I am working my way up the horror game ladder and trying to enjoy more games in the genre. So, to me, the idea of doing more than one run in this game seemed mortifying and dreadful. But after I did my first run on Assisted and saw my friend run through the game on Normal, I felt this surge of friendly competition, and it made me do another run right after on Normal mode actually, and I finished the game within 4 hours. I then did another playthrough shortly after, and the fear started wearing off, but my love for the game and its universe kept growing and growing, and I saw genuine improvement in my strategies and the way I was actually playing the game. Faster times aren't always the only way to improve at a game, and while some can view this as another obvious one, but fighting games. When I got into the genre, I just rubbed my face on the controller and hoped Jury would kick Hugo to death on Ultra Street Fighter 4. It did not work. I barely could hold my own in these games, and since I was too scared to hop online or find in-person events, the closest I got was playing Smash. Yes, this is going that way. I actually found the learning curve to be very beginner-friendly in comparison to Street Fighter, and actually played a lot and improved quite a lot when playing with some friends. I went to a few tournaments, and was the only person I knew that was playing Zero Suit Samus in Smash 4, but on the Wii U gamepad. But Smash is not where I really felt like I improved at fighting games. Skullgirls was. I replayed the hell out of Skullgirls story mode on all characters multiple times, each time learning more and more as someone who still feared hopping online. I taught myself the fundamentals, doing friendly matches and a lot of CPU battles. While this might sound sacrilege to any veteran FGC members, I assure you I am still not all too great at the genre if it wasn't obvious, but it got me into the mindset to improve and get better when I do decide to hop on Skullgirls or any other fighting game. Every time I replayed a fight in single player and saw potential for a combo or a cross-up, I would hop in training mode and replay the same scenario or combo over and over, going through a character's combo trials even though they're not optimal, only to do them over and over again until it was muscle memory. Then later on take parts of those combos from the trials and enhance them to the best of my ability. And it's just really fun. Nowadays I feel like I have a better grasp on fighting games, and maybe I'm a little bit better. But I still have ways away from being at a competent level. I still enjoy the grind and replaying a lot of what the single player content in certain fighting games offer. And yes, I do, oddly enough, play online on occasions. Oh cool, I earned a trophy. See, earning trophies and achievements in games is one of the ways to not only challenge yourself while playing a game, but feel a lot of dopamine when hearing the sound after you do something. Oddly enough, it really helps funnel players that do care about trophy hunting to actually do odd things in games that would ironically push them to improve. Say one trophy you need for a game needs you to beat it on the hardest difficulty without dying, or beat a real challenging boss rush. Trophies might just be simple little things they give you, but to me they actually extended playtime by a long mile in my eyes depending on the game and how well curated said list is. Gravity Rush has a fantastic platinum that in my eyes allows for more replay value, and I would say the same for 2, but some trophies here make me question my own sanity. BioShock, despite having a glitch to bypass difficulty and not dying by just changing a setting in a menu, has a fantastic list that warrants a few playthroughs and to just do everything that the game has to offer. And any excuse to be in Rapture longer than I need to be is a good one. Recently going back to playing my PS5 oddly enough sparked a need to start hunting trophies again, which is such a fun way to enjoy and extend the runtime of any game in my opinion. Whether it being a long 100-hour JRPG, or something that's just a really short, fun indie game like Hollow Knight, which has a totally easy platinum trophy that I am not going to suffer to earn, I promise. Improvement in these games can vary by person to person, but replay value will help push players to want to improve in a game, whether it's single player or a high skill ceiling multiplayer game. That's my take on it anyways. Simply put, nostalgia is one hell of a drug. While it's not literally one, it can be bittersweet depending on millions of factors. But for this case, I let it into my life with open arms like a warm blanket covering me up on a cold winter day. I have tons of games I played as a kid, most notably games from Nintendo. Mario, Zelda, and most notably the Pokemon series. Pokemon Diamond and Pearl, Black and White, Platinum, and many more still are a part of my collection from a kid, and while I did lose and sell those games, I still got most of my Pokemon collection intact. GameStop credit isn't worth it, kids. The feeling of picking up to my 3DS or DS Lite to play a Pokemon game from start to finish is one I look forward to. I recently started replaying Pokemon Black, and as soon as I got to Route 1, I remembered being a kid again, and when the game first came out. Sitting on my bedroom floor, Legos and toys everywhere, while I was so eager to just catch them all and play video games all day. It's a feeling where I almost was connecting the dots, so to speak. One area would bring up this memory, and this area would bring up another. It was so heartwarming and therapeutic in a sense. There are times where I boot up Pokemon Platinum just to hang out in Jubilife City to hear the sweet music, and just get reminded of the absolute treasured memories I have with this game and many others, including the spin-offs, Pokemon Rumble and Mystery Dungeon being the others I share the same sentiment with. Of course, there are other games that are in this nostalgic category, such as Catherine, which is a major shift from anything Pokemon related. I played this game when I was about 13 with my cousin, who constantly hung out with me at the time. Experiencing the story of Vincent Brooks' dilemma to even two 13 to 14-year-olds was memorable, and led me to 100%ing Catherine on both Xbox 360 and PC later down the line. I think any of my close friends can tell you my absolute love and admiration for this game, and how I spent days replaying this game over and over, not skipping a single line of dialogue or cutscene. The amount of sadness I had when my Xbox 360 power supply died on me, and I had no means of playing Catherine until my friend actually brought his old power supply back to me for Christmas, and it was in a box that reads the following: Merry Christmas, weeb. Hopefully this will help in holding over your Catherine fetish until full body drops, and when you pry Persona 4 Arena Ultimax out of my hands. Oh no. The bar, the atmosphere, the music, all of this sends me to a time where I would stay up all night playing my Xbox 360 and enjoying every second of this love triangle. There are times I boot this game up and just put on Also Sparks Brooks and keep it on in the background as I do anything else, because I just love the atmosphere the Stray Sheep bar even has, even if it isn't super groundbreaking. It's just your average run-of-the-mill bar, but something about the times I spent playing this game for the first time really makes it something far more important in the long run. Also, yes, this was my real first dive into SMT. That wasn't just Persona 4. Speaking of Persona 4, haha, good times, good times. Wait, how long has this been recording? While memories are nice, I really want to drive home what made me realize I spend more time replaying games of all kinds. It doesn't matter if it's the newest game or something my brain is latched onto like a leech, as its hyperfixation. As a game collector, I go out with some friends and buy games from time to time, to a point where I might be going through my list of games, but I keep adding more to the pile.
That's not water, that's ammonia, you idiot! Ah! Cope!
I don't like to view backlogs as chores or something other than entertainment, so I allow some leeway with what I collect and what I play. Those memories do spark up thoughts to go, you know, I do feel like a fourth playthrough of Persona 4 is worth it. Games like Breath of the Wild, Mario Odyssey, Final Fantasy VII Remake, Kingdom Hearts 3, and many, many more. Countless games have been released in recent years still get replayed to me to this day. While there isn't a point to it outside of either improving or maybe it's been a month or a few years and I feel like diving in again, I think the beauty in replaying in such games, even recent ones, is on a case-by-case basis. Sure, you have others that want to play the game solely to soak the story in the world like a sponge and remember their one timeless adventure as a really big memento. But what if a game really spoke to you? What if a game made you as an adult or even teenager who thought they were too cool for games, found something that just made you feel nothing but pure joy inside and out, smiling ear to ear, and telling everyone you know that they have to play this game? The conversations and emotions that stem from finding a game that comes out this day and age that's great and timeless is a dime a dozen in my eyes. But finding one that will make you want to replay the game right after the credits roll is something special to me. Sure, I find games like Horizon Zero Dawn not my cup of tea, but I have heard so many loving the game and replaying it and even trying to get that platinum trophy. Some people can replay God of War games countless times, and even quoting scenes like it's a recital at a play. Others like myself can really delve into the world of Persona and find new ways to make that in-game world more and more special upon each playthrough. I often hear my friends talk about games they've played and the joy they get when I ask them about a special moment in that game. Or maybe I'm even playing their favorite title for the first time. That joy I hear in their voice and the excited rambling always makes me glad video games can be this work of art that makes us get so invested in these worlds and characters. Everyone has different and unique tastes in games, and I tend to get into titles based on these conversations alone. Replaying games is important, and a game's replay value, nostalgic place in someone's heart, or ways improvement in said title can be found are all vital to the core experience of a good video game. There are many other reasons though. But to put a long-winded ramble to a close, if a game is good, a game is good, and that alone warrants replay value. Stay hydrated, everyone.